you please take your seats now, we'll get started. Hello? Good evening. I'm Allan Dodds, the president of the Overseas Press Club, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us here tonight as we honor this year's best, brightest, and most courageous journalists for their tremendous reporting abroad. To the Overseas Press Club,
I'm going to do this. I know. It's not your
crowd in this room, which makes a lot of noise, and we're glad about that, represents the strength and hope of American journalism. You are all people who believe in the integrity and the importance of hard news reporting and writing from around the world. In spite of the many challenges in the news business, I am happy to report that the OPC has gotten stronger. During the last year, we've had some fabulous programs and parties while sticking to our mission of relentlessly promoting the highest standards and freedom of the press. I invite you to please take a look at our greatly enhanced website, opcofamerica.org, and feel free to add your thoughts to our blog. And I might add, we're going to at least attempt late tonight to post some of the video from this event, including the speeches by the winners. As the OPC enters its 72nd year, tonight promises to be special. We have award winners in 20 categories, plus the man I call America's special treat, Andy Rooney. Now, please welcome the man most responsible for making this evening a triumph, Overseas Press Club Foundation President, and more importantly tonight, the dinner chairman, Bill Holstein.
Thank you, Allan. And thanks to all of you who have made this evening such a smashing fundraising success. In these, the darkest days of the media, certainly my some odd 30 years of it, I'd particularly like to thank Microsoft for sponsoring pre-dinner cocktails. That's the first. Thank you, Microsoft. And I'd also like to thank FedEx, a long-time great company, for being here again at a premier level. FedEx is here. These are the finest companies in America, and they recognize, as companies from the rest of the world do recognize as well, that supporting the American media's continued interest in international affairs is critical to their own success. So I think they've taken the high road. So I salute all of you for helping us defend and promote the highest standards of international journalism as practiced by the American media as we cover the world. And I commend, yes, thank you. And I commend you, everyone's attention. I commend this year's edition of Dateline Magazine at your tables, produced by Bloomberg's Michael Serrell and Kate McLeod. Be sure to take it home with you. Thank you very much for smashing financial support tonight.
Thank you, Bill. Every year we remember our fallen colleagues with a special lighting of the candle to remind the world that the dead, missing, and jailed journalists will never be forgotten. This year, before we light the candle, I'd like to bring our Freedom of the Press Committee co-chairman, Jeremy May, here for a few remarks.
Sorry about that. Sometimes I can only wonder how our colleagues in the media in much of the world have the courage to go to work every day. The persecutors of the media are growing bolder and more vicious. Those who murder journalists in Russia, Mexico, Philippines, Sri Lanka, and many other countries do so with impunity. Their killers are almost never prosecuted. In Iran and Cuba, China, and other countries, they hold more than 100 journalists in jail, sometimes some of them for years and under terrible conditions. If you included the bloggers, the numbers get higher. In the face of these assaults, the petitions and letters we send out to dictators who don't much care what we think of them would seem to be a feeble response. But they do work. We have an example here today in Maziar Bahari, the former Newsweek correspondent in Iran. He was held in jail and tortured for 4 months. He was released after a coordinated worldwide campaign that included a plea from Secretary of State Clinton. Even when these campaigns don't secure a release, they can be a comfort to those journalists in jail, knowing that someone outside cares about them if you can get the message through. Now, Mr. Bahari's family has received a new vague threat because he has been so outspoken about the plight of journalists in Iran. You can see on your tables an envelope which contains a joint Overseas Press Club Committee to Protect Journalists letter drafted by the CPJ. You can add your name to the petition demanding that the Iranian authorities stop harassing the press. When you do so, please print your name, don't sign it, and so it can be read, and put your affiliation on the cards. Our colleagues around the world need your help more than ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Our candle lighter this year is David Rose, who last year at this time had been kidnapped by the Taliban and his whereabouts were unknown. Oh, it's particularly disturbing to me and a lot of other people in this room because I've known David for a long time. I've been lucky enough to know him for 20 years, since he took his first job with the investigative unit of ABC News. Since then, he's made everyone proud who's ever met him. With his fearless report, he's won many prizes, including Pulitzer's and Overseas Press Club awards. His latest award-winning work is a 5-part New York Times series detailing his escape from 7 months in captivity. David?